Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 21 of the NordCast. It is Wednesday, April 12th, 2023. I am your host, Nordic97 here, joined with Carter. Welcome back.
I'm back.
How was Hawaii?
It was good. It was nice. It was a good time away. I'm back here now, but yeah, the weather is very different from Hawaii to
I
Winnipeg.
bet.
So yeah,
Oh,
not
I
not a whole
bet.
lot of fun weather-wise, but I know I'm glad to be back.
Good. All right. And I'm joining with Jack as well. How you doing, Jack?
Doing good.
How was the SATs you just took?
We'll see. We'll see. I think I did pretty good.
1600.
1600. You already know.
Oh my
Going to
God.
Harvard.
I hope so. Oh, I would love you forever, Jack. Anyways, so playoffs are near. This is probably going to be the final podcast before the playoffs actually occur. And it's going to be a very interesting playoffs, 100%. Now, most of the spots are determined. However, there is still some stuff to go down in regards to playoff spots. So we'll start off with the Western Conference. You got the first seed, Vegas Golden Knights, taking on the likely 16th seed, Winnipeg Jets. So the Jets clinched last night. Carter's wearing his jersey. He's very happy. For the video listeners, it's what he's wearing. Audio listeners, he's wearing a Jets jersey. For the other series, you got Colorado or Dallas. It hasn't been decided yet. It's gonna be either of the two. Or honestly, I might be wrong here. It could be Colorado, Minnesota. I'm not sure. They will take on the Seattle Kraken. Then you got Colorado or Dallas, so either or, whoever finishes second, will likely take on the third seed Minnesota Wild. And then the third seed Edmonton Oilers in the Pacific will take on the Los Angeles Kings for the second straight year. As it goes for the Eastern Conference, you got the Boston Bruins taking on either the New York Islanders or the Pittsburgh Penguins. For the other Atlantic Division matchup, you got the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning, which actually is the only realistic, is actually the only
The only
like,
one that's been set yet.
yeah, the only one that's been set in stone. I don't know where I went with realistic, but and then you got Carolina or the Devils. Carolina's been playing pretty lackluster lately. So the Devils are still in the race for that first spot in the Metro. But they will be taking on the Florida Panthers. And then obviously whoever is in second place in the Metropolitan, which will be either the Devils or the Hurricanes, they will take on the New York Rangers. So that's the playoff race right now. It's looking like it's likely going to stay at what I just said, unless if either Pittsburgh or the Islanders make it, which I do want to touch base on that as of right now. Now, when this podcast releases, there is a very good chance that the Islanders will have clinched. The Islanders will have clinched the playoff spot, and they will be playing Boston in the first round. Now, I do want to say this about Pittsburgh. What the hell? They're like Calgary in this scenario. Me and Jack in the last episode, we talked about Calgary and how, they lost that game to Chicago. Pittsburgh, exact same situation. They lose to Chicago. They have their own they had their own destiny. They could have won out and they could have clinched, but now they're gonna have to pray that the Islanders lose tonight and that Pittsburgh wins. Like they're playing the 31st Chicago Blackhawks and the 32nd Columbus Blue Jackets, and you're thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. You got the two worst teams in the league, and then you lose to Chicago. It's just unacceptable to me. So, do you guys have any thoughts on that? I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
Jack does. I'm sure Jack's pretty happy about it.
No, there's no way Jack's happy. He's losing out on a better chance of Bedard, so I can tell Jack's not a happy camper on that right now. But to be honest, though, it'd be one thing if like they lost in a close game. They did not look good in that game. They lost 5-2. You can't lose to the worst team in the National League by 3 goals, and especially when you're this late in the season and you're trying to make a playoff push down by 1 point. That is a must-win hockey game, and they couldn't do it.
100%. Just like it breaks my brain. And then the crazy thing is too, this will be the first time in 16 years they will miss the playoffs if they do. And then as well as that too, an even crazier stat that I believe we brought up in a previous episode was
I
that,
think it was 19.
yeah, both teams, both the Flyers and the Penguins, have not missed the playoffs in the same season since 1990. That's 33 years, which, I
Yeah.
mean, mostly it's Pittsburgh making it, but I mean, still, that's crazy.
Hey, we contributed.
We did contribute. You're right. We did make it. We made it in 2020. We helped out in that remark, because if we didn't make it in 2020, technically Pittsburgh didn't make it. Saying, but anyways, technically, apparently it's the technical reason, but people don't count that year. But yeah, just to me, that's ridiculous. That the fact that they can't beat Pittsburgh, and now they're likely gonna miss, and there's a wonders of what's gonna happen there. As it goes for, all the other series, I'm really gonna enjoy. What are some of the series that you guys think will be very fun to watch? Like, just off the bat, I know a lot of them haven't been determined yet, but for you guys, what series are you guys watching?
I'm watching the Devils and whoever they end up playing. Is there any like teams that are in it for the Devils right now?
Either the Rangers or the Panthers.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
want
like to see either one of those.
I want to see Rangers. I would want
I
to see
want to see Rangers
on
too.
the Rangers. Because
Right.
those
Yeah.
teams that played this year, they've been fierce. It would be a very fun series to watch, for sure. And then, as well as that too, whoever plays Minnesota will be very fun as well.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's Colorado or Dallas, I think that will be a fun series. And then Toronto versus Tampa will be fun, as well. I think that will be a fun series. We'll see who comes out on top in that. Carter, you have a smile on your face right now. Why is that?
Mainly because pretty much the only series I'm watching is this one. And
Oh, valid.
that, to be honest, for me, that's my favorite series. But yeah, I'll probably get into the series more in depth later, but yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Now we're gonna move on from the playoff picture to talk about a team that isn't in the playoffs this year, and I have a lot to unravel here. The Calgary Flames. We talked about them in the last episode with me and Jack with Chicago, but again, that game against the Blackhawks, that is going to be the game, and that still is the game that Calgary looks at and says, "Man, if only we had won that, what would happen?" And they're right. What would have happened? The entire tide could have changed. If they
Yeah.
had beaten Chicago, who knows? Calgary could have been in the playoffs and Jets would have been out. And that's not even fully what I want to talk about. Nick Ritchie. Are you kidding me? Are you
Oh,
actually
that
kidding
was
me?
stupid.
Biggest game of the season. Biggest game of the season. You're playing Nashville. You're in a shootout. And who do you put out? Nick Ritchie. What? Like, I don't understand that thought process. And Daryl Sutter
Yeah.
said that, oh, it's because he's scored on Saros before. I don't care. I don't care if
Yeah,
he's
that
scored
doesn't
on.
make sense to me.
I don't care if he's 3 for 3 in the shootout. He should still not go out there. Like, oh my goodness.
They have so many other guys that they could have played in that spot there to try and get something,
Absolutely.
but there's just like, yeah, they sent out Huberto and Kadri at the start. Like that's 100% what they should have done. But then with Nick Ritchie there, and then Backlund at the 4, why would you not switch them and try and put some pressure on?
Or Elias Lindholm. Or Mackenzie Weegar, for that matter. Or Andrew
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mangiapane.
like there's was it yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What about Mangiapane? Like there's so many guys that they could have slotted into that spot and they just didn't. And Nick Ritchie's the guy that they put all the pressure on and he couldn't deliver. So I don't know. That was just a bad call by the coach there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna ask this question. I don't know if me and Jack talked about this. But my question to you is, do you guys think that Daryl Sutter will be fired after this? Whoever wants to chip in and say the reasoning.
I don't think so, just because of, his reputation in the league. But I think he is on a little watch here, a fire watch, especially next year. They have a similar roster going into next year, which they probably will. They're kind of in a win now situation. And we see kind of the same results from the Flames. I think he's gone for sure. But yeah, I don't think his tenure is over just yet in Calgary. But yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward with them.
I think he gets fired. I just think that I think there's also going to be too much pressure from the fan base, and they're going to be like, okay, that's ridiculous. Why'd you put in Nick Ritchie, for with the season on the line? I just didn't understand it, and
Skin on the line, open shot, fate of the universe on the line. Who do you want? Nick Ritchie.
that actually when I think that through my mind, that does not process at all. Even if he scored, we just talked about this, but even if he scored on Staros, why? You have so many
Yeah.
other options. It makes me so mad, and I'm not even a Calgary fan. I'm just like, what? And I was watching the game too. I was watching the game, and they put out Nick Ritchie, and I'm like, huh? I was like, what? And honestly, that for me is enough to fire Daryl Sutter. Just honestly. And there's been that criticism all year of him. And I just honestly think there's gonna be enough pressure from the fan base and Brad Treliving, and I think honestly they will fire him. However, I would understand a perspective where they didn't, because look, this team, and we talked about this, I believe. I think we brought this up in the very early days of the podcast. We're in episode 21. We talked about Calgary in episode 1 or 2 or 3. That was the early days when we talked about Calgary with the big trades. Honestly, when I look at it, I kind of think that, this is a full team. This is a team with a lot of new players, Mackenzie Weegar, Jonathan Huberdeau, Nazem Kadri. This is a team with a lot of new players. So that's why I was kind of wondering, well, could there be a possibility that they could struggle to fit in and get the chemistry working again? And I think that's definitely played a role in why they haven't been as good. So maybe they don't fire Sutter for that reason, but I still think they should fire Sutter. No doubt. And then the other thing is too, they called up Dustin Wolf and Matthew Coronado today for their final game of the year. Should they have called up Dustin Wolf sooner with the way the goaltending was going on and with how Sutter was playing in the AHL, or Wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should have been done a lot sooner. If you're having goaltending issues, you got to find a way to capitalize on this and figure out a way to fix it as fast as you can. And if you got a guy who's tearing it up in the sorry about that. If you got a guy who's tearing it up in the AHL, why would you not try and give him a shot in the NHL if you have goaltending issues? That's something to me that doesn't make a whole lot of sense here. But
yeah, I mean, I understand that they were close. I understand that they were trying to hold on, but really, I mean, the odds really weren't in their favor, even if they had won that game against Nashville. So why don't you think to yourself, well, screw it, let's just call them up? I don't understand why they're calling him up now. I guess to just give him the start, but I don't understand it, to be honest with you. So yeah, any final things on Calgary? Anything at all?
Not really.
Nope. All right, so we'll move into the Boston Bruins here. We're not going to go too in depth with this, but the Bruins have broken the all-time wins record with 63 wins in a single season. And what better team to do it against than the Philadelphia Flyers? Anyways, they also did break the all-time points record in a single season with 133 points. So I got two questions for y'all. We'll start off with this one. And I know this is a little bit of a history question because y'all haven't seen, other teams like the 77, 78 Canadians. But I do have to ask you guys this question. Do you guys think this is the Boston Bruins? Are they the best team ever? Best team ever in a single season? Or do you have to wait until playoffs before you can say yes or no?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you do have to wait till regular season, but maybe they're in the conversation for best regular season team of all time. But yeah, I see this team definitely going far in the playoffs. And yeah, if they win the cup, I mean, they're definitely in the conversation for greatest team of all time.
Just depends on what happens in the playoffs, honestly. Carter?
yeah, it's hard for us to say, especially because we're all of us, we're pretty young and everything
Yeah,
like that.
we're all
So
we're all teenagers.
yeah, we weren't kind of there for the whole start of the NHL, and we didn't get to see these super teams the dynasty of the Islanders, or the like Broad Street Bullies area, or like the Mario Lemieux era, the Gretzky era of the Oilers. We didn't get to see those teams, so it's hard for us to really judge. But I feel like based off of our thing, this is all going to come down to how they perform in the playoffs. If
Oh
they
yeah.
end up winning a Stanley Cup, I think they definitely have a conversation for it and could definitely be the greatest team of all time. But if they can't get it done in the postseason, we might be looking back in this and be like, this could be one of the biggest failures.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's possible, because as long as they don't get swept in the first round like Tampa did, I think they'll be okay.
I was just about to touch base with that. And honestly, it's just like Tampa for me. Like, I think of, to be honest with you, like up until then, the best team that I've ever seen was the Tampa Bay Lightning in 2018-19. Because, Predators, I mean, like I've only seen up to 2018 or 2017-18 when it comes to seeing hockey seasons. So Tampa's been the best team I've seen up until this year. And Tampa lost in the first round. They got swept. So it all does come down to the playoffs. And this also kind of brings in my next question. Do you guys think that the President's Trophy curse could very well continue? Or, like, could the Bruins go far in the playoffs? I know we kind of answered that, but, like, do you guys think that they can go far with the team that they have?
Yeah, for sure. This is a team built for the playoffs. They're really built for anything. They got pieces all around. So yeah, I think they've really built up their team to make a run in the playoffs here. Just playoff caliber players that know how to play on the big stage. And then obviously you got the star guys like Pasta and Marchand. And yeah, so they're just ready. They're firing on all cylinders. They have been all season. And I don't really know who's gonna stop them right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you look at the Bruins, and I said this about the Lightning in 2019, even though I didn't have a channel. They look unstoppable. They look like a team that, like, could you even beat them in five or six games? Like, that was a team that I was really wondering. Carter, what just happened?
I fell. I leaned back in my chair and I fell.
So
We're we're good. We're good.
sorry about that, audio listeners. Anyways, Carter, do you think that the Bruins could go far in the playoffs with the President's Trophy curse?
Yeah, no, I definitely think they can. But again, we everyone probably said the same thing about Tampa last year. Or not last year, Jesus. The
It feels like
2018-19.
last year.
I must have like damaged something in my brain doing that, because that was awful. But anyways, anyways, looking at their roster, like they have a bunch of guys that have playoff experience. Boston's been there numerous times before, so they definitely know what it's like to be in the postseason, and they should be able to know what it's like to get out and to get to that Stanley Cup final. But like looking at the guys that they got in the at the trade deadline, like they got guys that are there for playoffs. Like most guys went after like star power in the playoffs. Like you look at the guys that Boston got, they got guys that are ready for the postseason, that know how to play postseason hockey, where it's hard hitting. They're not afraid to go into the battles. They're willing to stand up and fight, and they also know how to score, skate, pass, and do everything. So they really went after all around guys, and I especially like that for the Boston Bruins. So I really do think that they can make a nice run in the postseason here.
Yep, grit, score, and physicality. Bruins pretty much got that with all the deadline players. I don't even remember what Tampa got in 2019 as a deadline. I don't even remember, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But if I don't remember, that probably means it wasn't very significant. So we'll see. But anyways, you guys, I probably shouldn't have said that. But anyway, you guys got anything else on Boston before I say something else that's dumb? Nope.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay.
Powerhouse.
Okay, anyways, we got headlines now. So the Buffalo Sabres have missed the playoffs for the 12th straight season, and that is the most consecutive seasons to miss the playoffs in NHL history. Now, I will say this about Buffalo. It does suck, but watching this season compared to other years, it was a much more hype season, and I think it was also their first winning season since they made the playoffs in 2011. So I do like Buffalo's odds to make it next year. And I think they will make the playoffs next season. I think next year's the year. And it's going to be a fun year at that to see that team make it. But yeah, I like Buffalo as of now. It just sucks that they hold the record. But hey, bad management for many years is what's going to happen. but I think they finally turned the corner. Congratulations to all these players on making NHL debuts. Dustin Wolf, Brock Faber, Matthew Coronado, and Luke Hughes are the 4 notable players that are making their NHL debuts over the past couple of weeks. And then also congratulations to what, Carter?
Matt, there's a bunch of other ones, but
I know I missed a few. Who else?
Matthew Nyes.
Yeah, Matthew Nyes. Oh, Matthew Nyes as well. My fault.
It's a big name guy. Come on now.
Completely missed him.
Yeah.
Apologies. And then also congratulations to Quinnipiac on winning the Frozen Four tournament. Carter doesn't look very happy about it. I wasn't happy either. I wanted Minnesota to win, but hey, Quinnipiac, congratulations.
Hey, I became a Minnesota hockey fan at the start of the year before it started. Because when I went down to Wisconsin for the summer for a bit, and I came back and I was gonna buy like a Minnesota hockey sweater, and then I was like, oh, there's like no one that I know on that team. I'm like, okay, well now I'm repping them for the season, and
Yeah.
they ended up having a really good year and couldn't close out. But oh well.
The funny thing is though, and the actual really cool thing is Sam Lipkin, one of the players on Quinnipiac, literally lived in my area, lives in my area, went to a school that's near me. And he also won in high school hockey. Like he won AAA high school hockey with a team that I've covered in games before, which is crazy to think that a guy has gone that far. And he's a Coyotes prospect too. So it's insane. Logan Cooley, Sam Lipkin. Hey, we're getting all the prospects, baby.
That's a dynamic duo in the future right there.
Bedard as well.
No. It's gonna go to like Columbus or Chicago.
Philly.
Anyways, not Philly. We're too far ahead. Anyways, trending players. This is the first episode of trending players where we have a lot of trending players. Mainly involving milestones, but congratulations to these guys. Claude Giroux and Joe Pavelski have both reached the 1,000 point plateau. 2 players that I'm a huge fan of. So I'm very proud that they've reached that milestone. Forgot to include it in here, but congratulations to Sidney Crosby on reaching the 1,500 point plateau. Huge reach there. Connor McDavid, 150 points in a season and 60 goals. Let me tell you right now, 150 points is something we haven't seen in a very long time, and the list of people that have reached it is very short. It's Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Bernie Nichols, Steve Yzerman, I believe, has a 150 point season in there. Mario Lemieux. Phil Esposito as well. I think I said.
I think there's a couple others, but
I believe there's only 5.
5
others apart from McDavid that have reached that 150 points, which is insane to think in this era too. That he's reached that. He's the first player since I believe Gretzky.
No, I think it was Lemieux.
Lemieux to reach it. So that's absolutely insane. And then as well as that too, congratulations to Elias Pettersson on reaching 100 points in the season. Mikko Rantanen, 50 goals. David Pastrnak, 60 goals. Jack Hughes broke the all-time Devils point record. So Jason Robertson did as well. There's so many trending players right now when it comes to stats. And then the final player that I do want to touch base with is Connor Bedard, who wrapped up his season this year with the Regina Pats and the World Juniors and all that. So here was his final season stats. 141 games played, 144 goals. I think it has World Juniors combined in there too.
I think that's his full
junior
career.
2 seasons.
I think that's his junior career.
Oh, really? All right, this is his junior.
Because are you looking up the thing I sent you?
Yeah, you did.
That's I'm pretty sure that's just his full junior career.
All right, well, his full junior career then. That's still crazy though. 141 games, 144 goals. You have more goals than you have games played. More goals than you have That's crazy. And then you also have 291 points over that span, which is unbelievable. Definitely going to be a hyped up. What, Carter?
I have his season stats.
What are his season stats? I saw him previously, but
so if we're taking in everything from this season, he put up 90 goals in. Hang on, if my math is, I have to do math. This is going to be bad. I think he had 90 goals in 71 games played. He had in the 70 games played, he put up 183 points in the 70 games played. Yeah. That sounds right. 183 points in 70 games, which is absolutely ridiculous. Which is, I think, is like a bit over 2.5 points per game.
That's just unreal, honestly.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's all I got for trending players. We are not going to do a game of the week this week because the literal NHL season ends in like 2 days, and when this podcast uploads, it'll be over in 2 days. 2 days, because Thursday and Friday, that's it.
It ends on the 14th.
It does?
Oh, yeah. And today's Wednesday, by the way.
It's today's the 12th, Carter. Friday's the 14th.
Yeah, exactly. You said there's only 2 days
So,
left.
you want to do math? 12 to the 14th, that's 2 days.
No, it's 3, because if you include today, 12, 13, 14. I got you!
When this podcast uploads,
I
there
didn't
will
hear
be
you
2
say when the
days
podcast
left.
uploads.
Oh, for the love of God. Okay, all right, fine. There's 3 days left in the season. So
As
there's no
of
point.
recording, there's 3 days left. As of release, 2 days.
Okay, there's no point in doing a. All right, there's no point in doing a game of the week if there's only 3 days left in the season, and then playoffs as well. There's no playoff schedule yet. Anyways, for the final topic of this podcast, of this episode before the playoffs, we're gonna talk about the playoff picture and our playoff predictions. So,
Do it.
I'm gonna roll through basically everything here. We're gonna go series by series, ask you guys what you guys think, and then we'll go basically on our own from there and ask round tough predictions. So, but first off, I would like to touch base on what teams you guys had winning in the Stanley Cup
boy.
last year. So Jack, do you want to tell us what team you had winning?
Oh, no, not really, but I will anyways. Yeah, I had the Ottawa Senators. So yeah, didn't even make it.
Crazy reach. That episode's insane. If you guys want to see an episode where all of us are so wrong,
Yeah.
you guys can go to episode number 3 where we had Bartner on the podcast and we talked about hot takes and all that good stuff. Yeah, that was an episode of where we all looked like idiots.
Of misfortune is what it was.
Now we can look back on it.
We all looked so dumb in that.
I know.
We'll be better next year. We'll be better next year.
Yeah, we'll bring
Next
Bartner
year's
back
our
on,
year.
we'll
Next
look
year's
better.
our year.
Hey, this was our rebuilding year.
This is our
Yeah.
inaugural season.
We're gearing up for next season.
Yeah, next year's gonna be our big year. And anyways, Jack had the Ottawa Senators. Carter, who did you have? I forget.
I don't even remember. I want to say it was Colorado, but I could be mistaken. Maybe it was Edmonton.
I think I had Edmonton, or
then I think I might have had Colorado because I know I had
had either
Ottawa
of the two.
making the Cup final, so I know it's not
Yeah.
an Eastern Conference team. So I'll say I think it was Colorado. So
yeah, I had either of the two. I think I had Edmonton winning the,
Hey,
the
I'm
final.
not that far
I can
off
go look
right now.
back, but I probably can. But yeah,
it's okay, Jack.
Okay,
No, it's not
anyways.
okay.
it's fine. Anyways, let's take a look at. Let's go series by series here. Let's do this a little bit rapid fire too, because we're running out of time. So, we'll do this first. Who do you guys think makes it? Pittsburgh or the Islanders for that 16th seed? Who do you guys think?
Islanders.
You both think Islanders? Okay. All right. We'll do Jack, Carter, me. Okay. All right. So Boston versus Islanders. Who's winning that series?
Boston in 5.
Boston
Carter?
in 4.
I'm gonna say Boston in 6. I think the Islanders are gonna give them a hard time.
Yeah.
Toronto versus Tampa Bay.
Toronto in 6.
Jack or Carter?
Tampa in 7.
Tampa in 7. I'm gonna go Toronto in 5 or Tampa in 7. I feel like Tampa's tired, to be honest. Carolina, we'll say Carolina wins the Metro versus the Panthers.
Carolina in 4.
Jack
Canes in 3.
Carter.
I'm not Jack. Oh my
Was that
god.
second time?
Carter. I'm so used to going to Carter first. We did Jack first. Carter.
Canes in 5.
Okay, I'm gonna say Canes in 5 as well. Rangers versus Devils for the final series in the East.
Rangers in 7.
Carter.
Devils in 7. Triple overtime.
Oh my god, that was such a fun series. We'll move over to the West. Vegas versus Winnipeg.
Who do you have?
Oh shit. I have the Rangers. Rangers in 6. Okay, anyways, moving on to the West. Vegas versus Winnipeg.
This is gonna be a good one. Winnipeg in 7.
Attaboy, Jack!
Wow.
That's my first upset.
Carter?
I have Winnipeg in 7. I don't trust this Vegas team.
I don't either.
Winnipeg in 7. You heard it here first.
I have Vegas in 6. I'm gonna go
Fist bump.
Vegas in 6.
Yeah, fist bump. Norrick's a loser.
All right. We'll say Colorado wins the Central, which is very impressive, by the way. Colorado versus Seattle. Who wins that? Don't please.
Colorado in 6. I had to think about that.
Avs in 7.
I think the Kraken will take a little bit longer. I'm gonna say Avs in 7 as well.
Yeah.
Dallas versus Minnesota. That'll be a fun series.
Ooh, Dallas in 7. Let me see a couple 7-game series here.
Carter? I
This
see
one's
you.
actually like really tough.
You're like, I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
actually struggling.
This is the hardest one. For
Give me. How is this one harder than Devils Rangers? Jesus.
I don't know.
These two teams are really good, but
I know.
I'll go with mine since you're taking a little bit. I'm leaning towards Minnesota, even though I've been high on Dallas all year. I don't know how Dallas is going to do against playoff teams. Actually, no.
Give me Dallas in 7. I'll take Dallas in 7.
I'm gonna say Dallas in 7 too. That's
I think
valid.
we
all got that.
We all got that.
I don't know. I would love to see Minnesota go far, but history tells me that that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did
And
that
then
last year,
lastly,
it did not work out.
Edmonton versus LA.
Ooh, Edmonton in 6.
Edmonton in 5.
I'm gonna say Edmonton at 7. I think that will be a fun series. All right, this is where we branch off and we give our own like second round predictions. So Jack, you got to remember what you had.
Ooh.
Winner
I
of
forget.
Boston and New York versus winner of Toronto and Tampa.
Okay, Boston versus Toronto. Ooh, baby.
Oh,
Ooh,
second round, man.
Yeah. Give me Leafs in 6. Oh wait, sorry, I meant Boston. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Jesus.
Yeah,
All right,
sorry.
and
Sorry
then-
about that. Boston in 6.
Then you got winner of Carolina and Florida, which I think you said Carolina, and then winner of Devils and Rangers.
All right, Carolina versus Rangers. I'm gonna go Rangers. Rangers in 7.
Okay. All right. So you have Rangers and Bruins in semifinals. Rangers and Bruins in semifinals. So you taking?
I'll take the Bruins in 5.
Okay, and then we'll shift over to the West. Winner of Vegas and Winnipeg versus I think you had Winnipeg versus Colorado
Winnipeg versus Colorado.
because he didn't pick
Oof.
Vegas.
Is there a reseed?
I don't know. This is just the order that I have it. Oh, you're
I'm
right.
gonna go.
Who would they play then? Shit,
Is it a reseed?
I don't know. I have it a different way.
I don't think it is a reseed. As far as should we do it as a reseed or no reseed?
No reseed. We'll just do it in this order that I have it.
Okay.
Okay, can you read mine again really quick?
Winnipeg versus Colorado. You had second round.
Yeah. All right, Colorado in 5.
All right.
Sorry, Carter.
It's okay.
Then you had either winner of Dallas and Minnesota, and then Edmonton.
Ooh, I'll take Dallas in 6 over Edmonton.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Then you got Dallas and Colorado in the conference finals. I would love to see that. Who do you got?
I'll take Colorado. Colorado in 7.
So then you said Rangers, right?
Boston.
You have
Boston.
Boston versus Colorado. Who's taking it home?
Boston in 6.
Boston in 6, winning the Stanley Cup over Colorado. That's Jack's pick. Let me write that down real quick.
Yeah.
Carter, you can say your predictions while I do this.
All right. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even remember what order you had it in.
I had winner of Boston and Boston Islanders versus Toronto Tampa. So whoever.
Oh, okay. So I got Boston versus Tampa in mine. I'm taking Boston in 5. Or
All
no,
right.
not 5, not 5. Boston in 6. Sorry.
Okay. And then the other one you had.
Carolina versus the Devils. I'm taking the Devils in 7.
Wow, you have the Devil. Okay, and then Devils versus Bruins.
Devils versus Bruins. I got the Bruins in 7.
All right, then we'll shift over to the West. Vegas versus Winnipeg and Colorado versus Seattle. Who would you have taken that? I think you had Winnipeg and Colorado.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I really want to stick with my gut of what I did at the start of the year. But I don't care. I'm liking this team lately. Give me Jets in 7.
Oh, Jesus. Conference finals.
Woo!
Okay, all right. And then I believe you had Dallas winning
versus
it.
Oilers. I got the Oilers in 6.
So Jets versus Oilers.
I think you know what's coming.
Oh my God, there's no way. No
Jets
way.
in 7.
No way. What? Jesus, Carter, the bias is crazy.
I don't care. Hey, the bias is crazy. I actually have faith in this team right now. I've loved how we've played lately. We have dominated every team we've played lately, and I have loved it. We keep this up in the playoffs. I don't care. Jets, Bruins, Cup final. Boston loses in 7. Jets Stanley Cup champs.
What?
I'm saying this now. I am predicting this now. Jets are winning the cup. I don't care. Call me biased. I don't care. I have faith in this roster. I have faith in the coaching staff. I got faith in Adam Lowry to carry us to the promised land.
Oh my God, I can't wait to look back on this in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and you know what would be great? If we look back on this and I was right, I am taking over NordCast from you.
All right, fine. I'll make that deal. Okay, time for my predictions. Time for the fun. So I believe I had Boston beating the Islanders and Toronto beating the Bruins. So Toronto versus Bruins in second round. I'm going to take Boston in 6. So they're going to move on to the conference finals. Then you got Carolina versus the Devils, or versus the Rangers, I believe. I'm going to have the Rangers take over Carolina again in 7 games. So Boston versus Rangers in the conference finals. I'm going to say Rangers move on to the Stanley Cup finals. So you guys both had Boston winning the East. I'm going to have the Rangers winning the East. Over the Bruins. As for the West, you got Vegas versus Colorado. That's going to be a fun series, but I'm going to take Colorado in 6.
Okay, yeah, I don't think that would happen because it's a 2-1 seed, so
I don't believe it will.
Whatever.
We're running out of time, so we gotta move fast. We got Dallas versus I believe I said the Oilers, so we're gonna have the Oilers in 6. Oilers versus Colorado. Again, I think the Oilers are gonna take it over. Oilers in 6. And then you got the finals, Rangers versus Oilers. Gonna be a close series, but I'm gonna say the Edmonton Oilers will win the Stanley Cup over the New York Rangers in 7 games. So those are all of our takes. Jack has the Bruins winning the cup. Colorado has the Jets winning the cup. And I have the Oilers.
Colorado has the Jets winning the cup. Bro!
Wait, what?
You don't know how to say my name!
Sorry. Okay, anyways, we got to wrap this one up. We're running very close out of time here. Thank you all very much for listening and watching. Playoffs are coming. We're very hyped. But thank you all for listening and watching. Give us good reviews. Give us good likes. Anyways, thank you all for listening. We'll see you guys in the next podcast.